Yeah.
All right, 10 seconds for Hose Boss. Yeah, buddy. Have a good one.
You too.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping. Yeah, buddy.
You.
Could you please just calm down and just watch the show and shut your mouth for now? Thank you.
Mouse, you gotta do it for the children.
I was like, be a man, be a man, be a man. If I would have been a tad forward, I might have used my knees. Oh, my poor body. All right, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, dropping in.
There is no law against sniffing panties. There's no law against it. Love is changing.
brakes worked.
So Fox News learning that several close associates with Hunter Biden visited the White House more than 80 times. This during the period that his father was serving as vice president. Griff Jenkins running the story down for us today in Washington. Hello, Griff.
Hey, Bill, good morning. A new look at old records reveals 7 people associated with Hunter's now defunct firm Rosemont Seneca visited either the White House or the Naval Observatory on those 80 occasions and frequently met with then Vice President Biden's aides. And today, a former Obama-era stenographer is casting allegations about a past foreign trip, telling the New York Post, quote, Joe Biden committed crimes in Ukraine in a conspiracy with current National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. I'm a witness to that happening. Now, this comes amid dual criminal and congressional investigations into the Biden family's finances. To date, President Biden has repeatedly denied any knowledge of his son's dealings.
Mr. Vice President, how many times have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings?
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. I have never discussed with my son or my brother or anyone else anything having to do with their businesses, period.
Now, neither the White House nor Hunter's attorneys responded to new requests for comment.
Come on, man.
Today is Thursday, April 13th, 2023. Oh man, that Biden and Zelensky meme, that is a violation of my eyeballs. White House whistleblower says Joe Biden is a criminal. Says he has evidence that will put him in jail or impeach him. Bombshell stuff. Donald Trump sues Michael Cohen for $500 million. And ALX joins the show to talk about Elon Musk nuking the BBC. My name is Benny Johnson, and this is The Benny Show. Joe Biden may be going to prison, but that doesn't mean that you need to lock up your finances along with him. Joe Biden is trying to take the dollar down. Maybe you should consider diversifying. Now is the time, ladies and gentlemen. Now is the time to diversify into precious metals. I have done. May I recommend my favorite people to do this, which is Allegiance Gold. Allegiance Gold is the best when it comes to protecting your IRA or 401k with physical gold and silver. You can have it delivered securely right to your door. They have 5 stars from TrustLink, AAA rating, Better Business, Consumer Alliance, A+ rating, Better Business Bureau. You can't ask for better, and that's why countries all around the world are buying and stockpiling gold, because it has real value. It is exactly what you should use to hedge against 1950s. It is really remarkable how if you hire somebody who's at the very, very end of their lives and who should belong in a nursing home, all you're going to get is like creepy, old, diseased nostalgia. But that's not going to prevent, in our new era, Joe Biden from suffering the consequences of his actions. And now we have a whistleblower telling us from inside of the Obama administration. This is a man who worked for Barack Obama, coming out and saying, this guy's guilty as hell. This guy is crooked as Hillary Clinton. As crooked as Hillary Clinton walking with a crooked walking stick after a Chardonnay afternoon in the woodlands of New York, as she is prone to do. Ladies and gentlemen, the Obama administration has, in multiple occasions, said that they are very scared about how corrupt Joe Biden is. And we are going to take a very exciting journey down the road of Joe Biden's corruption today. And we're going to expose for you something that burst forth onto the national stage last night with a whistleblower, telling us something that we already knew, but we did not have the confirmation from inside of the Obama White House. But if you had your eyes and your ears open, then you would have understood exactly how desperate they were to stop you from talking about one thing. And remember, our corporate press, they are a fifth column in this nation. They are agents of the state. They are state-funded media. And we decided to go and do a mashup of state-funded media for your viewing pleasure this morning to show you the tea leaves, to show you the breadcrumbs of this story. When Hunter Biden's laptop story broke, how did PBS cover it? You can't get more corrupt than PBS. PBS is literally sponsored by the state. They are literally deep state news. Never watch PBS, but how did PBS cover Hunter Biden's laptop? Because this is all connected. What did they do to be the Praetorian Guard for the Biden family? This mashup is wild, but it lays the story for what you're about to hear from the Obama whistleblower. This is why, with blood in their eyes and fire in their veins, they did everything they could to try to not only prevent you from learning about Hunter Biden's laptop, but to stop you from ever even sharing it. Watch.
Over the past few days, President Trump has highlighted a report by the New York Post about Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son. There are major questions about the origins and the accuracy of that story, that the president's personal attorney was peddling Russian disinformation.
Unfounded claims about Vice President Biden's son, Hunter.
Unverified story about Hunter Biden.
Adam Schiff suggested the claims are Russian disinformation.
Disinformation. Intelligence agencies warned the White House that Russian intelligence used Rudy Giuliani as a vessel to undermine the Biden campaign. Republicans vowed to subpoena the CEO of Twitter for blocking a politically charged an uncorroborated story in the New York Post. It involved Hunter Biden, son of presidential candidate Joe Biden, and his business dealings in Ukraine.
You know, it's this article of dubious sourcing that's been disproved.
So, state organ, PBS, state media, PBS, went on a tirade against Hunter Biden's laptop, which of course is true, verified now. Dozens of news outlets have verified this. You already knew it was true. Everyone knew it was true. The Trump campaign knew it was true. Rudy Giuliani knew it was true. Why? Why did they scream like demons to stop you from learning about this? Well, now we know. Part of it is because of Hunter Biden's crimes. And those crimes are evidenced quite clearly in a report from the Marco Polo Association. This Marco Polo Association has documented 450 federal crimes, ladies and gentlemen, that the Bidens have committed on that laptop. However, there is one that is so damning and so demonstrably illegal that they tried more than ever, more than anything else, to hide this one from your purview. In fact, they impeached Donald Trump for just asking questions about it. Joe Biden's business dealings with the Ukrainian gas company, Burisma. This is the landmine that they know has been buried inside of this laptop, that they know is evidence that will implicate Joe Biden in the largest pay-for-play crime in American government history that we know of. This is endemic corruption. Now, what happened? Well, a whistleblower has come out and given us details about the timeline of Joe Biden's involvement with Burisma. Here is the quick and dirty timeline. On April 18th of 2014, Hunter Biden was appointed to the board of Burisma. A month afterward, Joe Biden was meeting with Burisma agents at his residence, the Naval Observatory. And soon thereafter, Joe Biden, who was in charge of the Ukraine portfolio for the Obama administration, was flying to Ukraine to help them develop their natural gas deposits. How do we know that Joe Biden was using that trip to enrich his son and his family? We know it because now a brave whistleblower has come forward. This man worked for the Obama administration. This man joined Joe Biden on this trip and is saying that he has the evidence, he has given it to the FBI, and that Joe Biden is going to prison. Ladies and gentlemen, the new whistleblower who has burst forth onto the scene, this may mean the end. Watch.
the first Biden crime family whistleblower, Tony Bobulinski? Now we have a second Biden crime family whistleblower, a former Obama-Biden White House stenographer, Mike McCormick. McCormick followed Biden around and wrote down everything that was said. He was the stenographer for the White House. And this Obama-Biden White House stenographer is blowing the whistle, and he's saying he has proof that Joe knew everything about what Hunter was doing in Ukraine. He calls the whole thing a kickback scheme, and he joins me in a minute. But first, here's the timeline. February 2014, the Obama-Biden administration stages a coup in Ukraine. The pro-Russia leader is removed and a pro-American leader is installed. On April 12th of 2014, Hunter was sending out detailed memos on Ukraine, you know, the kind of thing you'd see in a classified document. 6 days later, on April 18th, Hunter signs on to be a board member of Burisma. 3 days after that, Vice President Biden flies out to Ukraine. He's running point for Obama. And the White House whistleblower was on that trip. The stenographer says that Joe was on Air Force Two with one job: push for fracking and unleash Ukraine's natural gas reserves.
Isn't that something else? The man who ran on shutting down fossil fuels here in America was so urgent and so eager to get on a flight to develop Ukraine's natural gas that he all but broke the sound barrier running to the airport to use American dollars, and he ended up using $50 million American to assist in the development of Ukraine's natural gas and oil reserves. Why? Well, it's laid out clearly by the whistleblower himself, Mr. McCormick. Watch.
Like, what went down on that trip that you're aware of?
Thanks for having me on, Jesse. Well, what happened on that trip was Joe Biden was in the front of the plane. My job as a White House stenographer was to be in the back of the plane in the press cabin. And if Joe or a senior administration official came back and did a briefing, and then I would record it and make a transcript. Well, that's exactly what happened. That senior administration official was Jake Sullivan, who's now our national security advisor. So I didn't see anything wrong with it at the time. Years go by. I've left the White House. I'm writing books, and I get a hold of the Hunter Biden laptop from Marco Polo. They're a nonprofit, anti-corruption nonprofit. About a year and a half ago, I started writing a Substack based on what I find. And then I go back over what I knew happened when I was working for Joe. I found the transcript that I wrote about that briefing. That's when Jake Sullivan starts talking about fracking. And because of what I'd read in the laptop and reported in my Substack previously, I'm like, wait a minute. Joe Biden knew Hunter Biden was already on the board on April 18th. Joe Biden knew. He directed Sullivan to go back and talk to the press. This is a conspiracy.
Now, I want to stop for a second and talk to you about who Jake Sullivan is. Jake Sullivan right now is the National Security Advisor for Joe Biden. Jake Sullivan has worked in national security his entire greasy, translucent-skinned, vampire-looking, goblin-esque life. This is the man who planned the deadly pullout from Afghanistan, but more importantly, the further you look, you realize that Jake Sullivan is deep state as hell. You can't get more deep state than Jake Sullivan. Jake Sullivan is the man at the center of the Russiagate hoax. Jake Sullivan is the man targeted by John Durham for shopping around and actually initiating the writing that led to the Russiagate hoax. Jake Sullivan crafted it all up. This is how corrupt this individual is. Not only that, Jake Sullivan's wife, she's a prosecutor for the DOJ. She's someone directly involved in going after Donald Trump. This is how the deep state works. So Jake Sullivan went on this trip with Joe Biden and was there in order to create cover so that Joe Biden could go and develop energy resources for his son. According to the whistleblower, there was a conspiracy theory that was hatched. And that conspiracy theory was to enrich the Biden family by using American power. Jake Sullivan was the con man, the operator that made it all happen. And this whistleblower says that he has spoken with the FBI, that he has documents that are going to land Joe Biden in jail or impeached or both. Absolutely shocking stuff. Watch.
I went to the FBI and filled out their witness tip line. There's a website. You fill out all these tips, these web directions. I submitted it. If you lie to the FBI when you're submitting a tip like that, you can go to jail. I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. Joe Biden is lying. Joe Biden is a criminal. That's the bottom line. I don't care if he goes to Timbuktu or Ireland or anywhere. He's a criminal. And I've got the evidence. If they put me in front of the grand jury that's right now seated in Wilmington with Special Prosecutor David Weiss, my testimony becomes the evidence that will put him in jail or will lead to his impeachment. Probably lead to his impeachment first.
So you're saying that Joe Biden wasn't going to Ukraine to fight corruption. Joe Biden was going to Ukraine to help the natural gas industry. At the time, he knew that his son was on the board of the biggest natural gas business conglomerate in Ukraine.
That's exactly right.
This man, on penalty of perjury in jail, Mr. McCormick, who went with Joe Biden, who traveled with Joe Biden, who was Joe Biden's stenographer, the man writing down everything Joe Biden was doing, is saying that Joe Biden belongs in prison because Joe Biden hatched a plot with Jake Sullivan in order to go and use American resources to boost his son's and his own financial interests. And they only did that after a coup in Ukraine. Do you see how the deep state operates? So throw out the leader, install your son to make money, and then go over there and use American taxpayer dollars and Air Force Two in order to start turning that money. Hoovering that up directly into your bank account. Check out this article, bombshell stuff from the New York Post, who did the original reporting on this issue. Joe Biden boosted Ukrainian gas industry as Hunter took role. Vice President Biden visited Ukraine on a mission to bolster the country's energy industry just days after his son joined the Burisma Natural Gas Board, which a former White House stenographer claims implicates Joe Biden in a foreign influence peddling kickback scheme. Mike McCormick said he was the current national security advisor. Mike McCormick, who's the name of the stenographer, said he was with current national security advisor Jake Sullivan when Biden ate in the press cabin of Air Force Two en route to Kyiv on April 12, 2014, outlined how the world's wealthiest country, America, would help the deeply corrupt post-Soviet state build its gas industry. Giving a rundown of priorities for the trip, Sullivan described in a transcript as an anonymous senior official, they kept Sullivan's name out of it, said Biden would discuss with the Ukrainians mediums for long-term strategies to boost conventional gas and petroleum. So let's make sure that Ukraine can build as much gas as possible. This, the guy who says he's going to shut down fossil fuels, was raging to get Ukraine up to peak in their fossil fuel production. Why? Get a load of this. In December of that year, amid broader Obama administration support for Ukraine, Congress approved $50 million to support the country's energy sector. $50 million from the American Treasury to help develop Ukrainian energy that Hunter Biden and the Bidens would get a cut of. This is the largest corruption tale that I have ever seen in government, and I have been covering politics for 15 years. McCormick provided screenshots of an online FBI tip submission that he says completed in February. He has yet to hear back from the FBI. Lying to the FBI is a crime punishable by 5 years in prison. Right now, they are 3 years into an investigation and nothing is happening. He added, I will testify. I will testify. I have the evidence. Ladies and gentlemen, multiple members of the congressional Republicans have sounded off on this. Hunter Biden, of course, had no credentials to sit on the board of a Ukrainian energy company. And he has yet to hear back from the FBI. Lying to the FBI is a crime punishable by 5 years in prison. Right now, they are 3 years into an investigation and nothing is happening. He added, I will testify. I have the evidence. Ladies and gentlemen, multiple members of the congressional Republicans have sounded off on this. Hunter Biden, of course, had no credentials to sit on the board of a Ukrainian energy company. His last name was Biden, said House Oversight Committee James Comer. So James Comer is on this. He's a friend of the show. Elise Stefanik has said, the truth is coming out. I am committed to ensuring that the entire Biden crime family is held accountable for compromising our national security. Hunter Biden was paid $1 million a year. 2014, 2019, this is $5 million for sitting on this board. Plus every other way that they can possibly can. That's what we know of. This is why we talk about the bank records. You must understand how the bank records operate. And you must understand that there was an open door. According to this article, there was a swinging open door of Burisma agents into the White House. So open was this door that the Obama administration said, what the hell is going on here? The Obama administration State Department flagged Hunter Biden and said, this is going to be a major issue for us. He's on this board of Ukrainian gas company. His dad's in charge of Ukraine. This is total and complete corruption. We have the reporting from that. Now we find out that 80 times Hunter Biden's business partners went to the White House to meet with Joe Biden. And they're trying to put Donald Trump in prison for Excel spreadsheets. My God, watch.
4 business partners, a vice president of the company, and 2 assistants at Hunter Biden's now defunct firm visited the White House more than 80 times when his father was vice president. That's according to Fox News Digital. President Biden has repeatedly insisted he had no knowledge of Hunter Biden's business dealings amid dual criminal and congressional investigations into the first son and his family. The White House and Hunter Biden's attorney did not respond to requests for comment.
So how did they get the money? We now know. Privat Bank, and we've talked about it a lot, the oligarch Kolomoisky in Ukraine. There is an oligarch who is the man who you have to do business with if you wish to go into Ukraine. His name is Viktor Kolomoisky. This man, on the first day of Joe Biden's reign of terror in this country, was banned from entering the United States. Now, why would you do that? Why would you ban Kolomoisky from entering the United States? Why? It's a little strange. It's almost as though they were preparing for the congressional oversight, and they needed to make sure that this man could never testify. Hunter Biden's business interests overlapped with Ukrainian oligarch. This reporting from the Daily Signal is absolutely wild. This is the oligarch. This is the bank. This bank is now run by the state in Ukraine. You wonder what they're doing in Ukraine. What Zelensky has done in Ukraine is now nationalize everything. So this bank called Privat Bank is still run, but it's run by the state. It's not run independently. Because independent individuals can use these records of corruption to save themselves from prosecution. Zelensky has now gotten the permission to take over everything inside of the state. Destroy records, burn documents. We know they're doing it. This is why. This is why the Suspicious Activity Report, the SAR report, is so important. And that is why James Comer is going after bank records. When you hear a lot about James Comer and bank records, there is 150 Suspicious Activity Reports from the Bidens, and that's what he's going after. Because what you're going to find is you're going to find huge tranches of payments from that corrupt oligarch to Joe Biden. When Joe Biden does a marionette dance for him, when Joe Biden flies over and helps develop new oil reserves for Ukraine, that means billions to Ukrainian oligarchs. That means a kickback for Joe Biden. And that's what you're going to see in these bank accounts. Mark my word. Mark my word. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can actually listen to Joe Biden himself talk about this arrangement. You've probably never heard this tape. But I'm going to play you Joe Biden in his own words. This was a surreptitiously recorded call with Joe Biden, the president of Ukraine, talking about Kolomoisky, talking about this business arrangement, and talking about Joe Biden's exposure in this scheme. How much more evidence do you need? Does O.J. Simpson have to take the bloody glove and slap you in the face? Not you, of course. I'm talking to you, Merrick Garland. Listen. Listen to Joe Biden actually describe this arrangement. This is how dirty this family is. Dirty.
Let me ask you one thing before I forget. Privat Bank. I understand the governor of the bank is tentative about setting a date certain for the transition to take place, and I'm being told secondhand and I don't know if this is her position for sure, that she is unsure of a date until she gets an agreement from you. Here's what I've told them. I've told them to get back to her and set a date, and I would talk to you about the date. Because this is getting very, very close. What I don't want to have happen, I don't want Trump to get in a position where he thinks he's about to buy onto a policy where the financial system is going to collapse and he's going to be looked to pour more money into Ukraine. That's how he'll think about it before he gets sophisticated enough to know the detail. So anything you can do to push the Privat Bank to closure so that the IMF loan comes forward.
This is Joe Biden, in his own words, talking to Viktor Yanukovych, who was the then president of Ukraine. This is the man who took power after an American-led coup, a Western-led Five Eyes coup of Ukraine. And here's Joe Biden saying, hey, this Privat Bank that has all the banking records that show the amount of money that they've sent to my family, you need to close that bank. You need to shut it down. You don't get more dirty or corrupt than that. Now, he says the name Trump. What is he saying there? I don't want Trump to find out about this. That's what Joe Biden just said. You just heard him. This is Joe Biden. Last days of the administration. What the F is going on? Joe Biden's in his office with a phone, the last days of the administration, making frantic phone calls to Ukrainian presidents saying you must close down banks that did dirty business with my family. Now whistleblowers from the Obama administration are saying we know exactly why. Now, it's not that we just have Joe Biden saying it. We also have Hunter Biden saying it. We have Hunter Biden, his voicemails, because of his laptop, freaking out. I mean, you're talking like a nervous breakdown. Listen to Hunter Biden having a nervous breakdown. That suddenly the New York Times and federal agencies are starting to ask about these connections, implicating his father in this. Just laying out all the evidentiary trail for you, because we do our research on the show, and we do it for you so that you can be knowledgeable. You will not hear this from the corporate press. Why don't you hear it from Joe Biden and Hunter himself? Go.
I get calls from my father to tell me that the New York Times is calling, but my old partner Eric, who literally has done me harm for I don't know how long, is the one taking the calls because my father will not stop sending the calls to Eric. I have another New York Times reporter calling about my representation of literally, Dr. Patrick Koh, the spy chief of China, who started the company that my partner, who was worth $323 billion, founded, and is now missing. The richest man in the world is missing, who was my partner. He was missing since I last saw him in his $58 million apartment and signed a $4 billion deal to build the largest LNG port in the world. And I am receiving calls from the Southern District of New York, from the U.S. Attorney himself. My best friend in business, Gettin, has named me as a witness without telling me in a criminal case, and my father without telling me.
So, it seems as though, according to Joe Biden's own testimony, according to Hunter Biden's own testimony, and again, these are private calls, they didn't know they were being recorded. Have you ever heard those calls? Have you ever heard those? Are you just hearing them on the Benny Show? Are you hearing it because we do our research on the show? And we thank all of you for watching and your support? We do this show so that you can be informed? Yeah, we dug those clips up. We did the research. That's Joe Biden and Hunter Biden openly admitting to this corrupt business deal. So, to recap, now the Obama administration is now turning on Joe Biden. Members of the Obama administration, Obama's own employees, who were the stenographers for Joe Biden, who wrote down everything Joe Biden did, are saying Joe Biden's corrupt. They're talking to the FBI. They're giving the FBI evidence. The FBI has not reached out to them. Why? These people are criminals. Republicans are getting the bank records, and they are going to blow up the biggest lie that you have ever been told. And I have it on film. The biggest lie you've ever been told, and this is a doozy because there's a long list. The biggest lie you've ever been told is right here at the Iowa State Fair when Joe Biden was running for president. Peter Doocy, one of our favorites, my boy Doocy, had the temerity to walk up to Joe Biden and say, "You are corrupt and you are evil. What did you know about your son's business dealings?" Listen to Joe Biden's response here. If you need any further evidence that this man is the dirtiest old man to ever serve in this position, look no further.
Mr. Vice President, how many times have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings?
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings.
And so how do you know?
Here's what I know. I know Trump deserves to be investigated. He is violating every basic norm of a president. You should be asking him the question, why is he on the phone with a foreign leader, trying to intimidate a foreign leader, if that's what happened? That appears what happened. You should be looking at Trump. Trump's doing this because he knows I'll beat him like a drum. And he's using the abuse of power and every element of the presidency to try to do something to smear me. Everybody looked at this, and everybody's looked at it and said there's nothing there. Ask the right question.
Okay, but if you've never spoken to your son.
Will you be impeached for this?
Depending on what the...
Ask the right question. Now, at that point, Joe Biden was talking about Donald Trump asking Ukraine to investigate him. You remember that's why they impeached Donald Trump. They impeached Donald Trump for Joe Biden's crimes. Put on a t-shirt, slap it on a bumper sticker. They impeached Donald Trump for Joe Biden's crimes in Ukraine. All Donald Trump did on the phone call with Zelensky at the time was say, hey, Joe Biden's corrupt as hell. You know it, I know it. You got the records. Ukraine has the records. Look at this man. Look at this man. And then they impeached Donald Trump for saying that. And now, members of the Obama administration are straight up saying, nope, we watched Joe Biden do that. How long does the charade last? Now, we know for a fact that Joe Biden protects his son Hunter and his criminal activity. Now, the plainest example of that is crack. And what do I mean by that? I'm not going to show you anything that's not safe for work here, but I am going to show you a video from Hunter Biden's laptop, and I'm going to splice that in with what Joe Biden has said on the floor. Joe Biden, back in the 90s, was banging his fist on the floor of the well of the Senate, saying he is going to make he has made and is bragging about creating the most rigid and harshest crack laws in the world. He passed a bill that was mandatory minimum sentencing for crack addicts and people that have a teeny amount of crack found on them. Now, the crack epidemic at the time was raging in the inner cities. Young black men were the absolute preponderance of individuals who were affected by Joe Biden's law that he is so excitedly bragging about here. Watch.
If you have a piece of crack cocaine no bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand, 1/4 of $1, we passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others, a law that says if you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail. Judge doesn't have a choice. Now,
5 years in jail. Judge doesn't have a choice. Why does he talk like that? Why does he do the Jim Carrey impression? 5 years in jail. We don't go back into the archives for nothing here. We don't do all of this research for nothing. And we certainly aren't trying to, I guess, make light of Hunter Biden's extreme drug addiction. But there is a video, many videos of Hunter Biden smoking crack on his laptop. There's one video that we like to play back to back with that clip to show you what Joe Biden is doing and how this crime family protects itself. And it is the most demonstrable piece of evidence that we can show you. Ladies and gentlemen, we assure you there's no grotesque nudity in what we're about to show you. But see if you can see the problem with Joe Biden's law versus Joe Biden's son's activities.
$2.07 without the bag.
that was more than a quarter of crack. Hunter Biden smoking crack, cigarette, whatever, talking to a sex trafficked hooker, underage, who knows? James Comer's the guy who tells me that they're investigating the Bidens for sex crimes, for sex trafficking. So who knows what underage, foreign-born, sex trafficked hooker that Hunter Biden was talking to there, arguing with him over how much crack they had. But let me tell you something, as somebody who doesn't ever smoke crack. I mean, hope you don't either. But I know for a fact that that's more crack than Joe Biden set in law as a mandatory minimum for locking an individual up. So where's Hunter Biden's prison sentence, Joe? Hey, slime bag. Your son is parading around in half of his videos. They had too much nudity in them. I can't show them to you. We got our account taken down. Parading around with a gun, with a firearm, illegally bought. Then he had a fight, and that firearm was thrown into a dumpster right beside a high school. And then the Secret Service showed up to try and confiscate all the paperwork to prove that he had ever bought that weapon. And Joe Biden's going to get on TV and he's going to mule at you about gun crime, and about people who lie to the federal government, and about individuals who shouldn't be owning guns in the country. And he's not going to put his son in jail. I can show you the physical video. I only show you that to explain to you the nature of this family. You must understand the nature of these individuals. So now Hunter Biden is where? In prison? Clearly he's violated a ton of Joe Biden's laws that his father had passed. No, actually. Currently, Hunter Biden is in Ireland with his dad. Hunter Biden's in Ireland with his dad, being his gatekeeper. Hunter Biden steps in to help Joe Biden understand a question he's being asked by a group of children. Hunter Biden is by his father's side at every single step of the way here. This is called softening the image. This is a PR stunt. What they're trying to do is they're trying to soften Hunter Biden's image. They're trying to make it so that, like, you can't attack him. They know that a prosecution is really heating up for Hunter Biden. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to, like, push him into the light in a positive way. Hey, go to the Easter egg roll. We know there's footage of you with underage prostitutes smoking crack, but hey, go to the Easter egg roll. That will soften your image. Here's Hunter Biden having to translate English for his father.
Dad, he's got a question.
What's your question?
What's the top what?
What's the top steps to success? Or making sure that we don't all have COVID? What are you talking about?
That's to success. Like, what's the key to success?
What's the key to success? You know what I found out the key to success is? And I'm not sure I'm the best guy to explain it. These guys can tell you. The key to success is whenever you disagree with someone, it's okay to question their judgment, whether they're right or wrong. But it's never okay to question their motive.
This from a man who just is trying to lock up his political opponent in prison. When you disagree with someone, don't question their motive. Just put your political enemies in jail. That wasn't the only time on the trip that Joe Biden had trouble speaking English. Joe Biden trying to explain that the White House is also inside of Congress. I've lived in D.C. for 15 years. I don't think that's true.
As a matter of fact, as you walk into my office in the Oval Office of the United States Capitol, guess what? You know who founded and designed and built the White House? An Irishman. An Irish, no, not a joke. Not a joke.
When you walk into my office on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in the United States Capitol, definitely not dementia. Joe Biden also wandered around a castle in Ireland and explained to people that they shouldn't jump off of the turrets of the castle, so encouraging people to not commit suicide.
Just don't jump over. Don't jump. No, not now.
Joe Biden is himself the subject of a federal investigation right now, where Joe Biden stored every classified document imaginable in his own keeping. Joe Biden's federal document investigation is ongoing by the Justice Department, and a special counsel, a man named Robert Hur, is in charge of it. He can add one more document to the list of tens of thousands of classified documents that Joe Biden hoovered around and squirreled around throughout Boston, Delaware, and Washington, D.C. Add one more to the list. Ireland police confirm security breach around Biden trip after classified document found in the street. This is real. This is from Fox News. Police in Northern Ireland are admitting to a security breach after a document reportedly containing details of officer deployments in the city of Belfast, where President Biden's visiting Wednesday, was found in the street. The BBC is reporting that a member of the public called to the attention and said that they found a document that had sensitive information about the president's visit. We are aware of a security breach, said the Service of Northern Ireland Police. Oh. Well, I mean, at least they're consistent. Watch.
All right, breaking at this hour, all new at 2. President Biden on the ground in Ireland, his motorcade making his way through the streets there after a stunning security breach during the president's trip to Ireland.
Yeah, sensitive security information with details of President Biden's travels reportedly going missing, then later showing up tossed in the street. So who found those documents and who exactly dropped the ball here?
Yeah, got it. So they want to insult you. A lot of this is about degrading and dehumanizing this nation. They want to degrade us. There's no other explanation for it, right? You can't call it anything else. It is a grinding of what you perceive as right and wrong, what you perceive as beautiful, what you perceive as good in this nation. They're going to grind that to powder. That's the goal, to chop all of that down. That's why when you look at fashion magazines and you see objectively ugly people on the cover, objectively ugly people on the cover of magazines, it's degrading. It's anti-human. They want to reverse engineer society. And to do that, you must create a crisis. You must put open criminals at the Easter egg roll. Guys who committed sex trafficking standing there in front of the Irish children, talking with them. You've got to rip up the girds of society. You must create a crisis. You have to use the justice system to go after Joe Biden's political enemies. Not be able to define what a woman is. It's all part of the same charade. It's all part of the same scheme. It's neo-Marxist. It's designed to make you question reality itself. It's maddening. It's why we do this coverage on the show, to see these corrupt individuals. Here, another doozy, literally as we're doing the show. Just in, bank records show millions in transactions between Hunter Biden, China firms. What's going on here? The Chinese are now coughing up documents about the Bidens. This would have been our lead if it were not for the whistleblower from the Obama administration. How corrupt can they be? How insulting can they be to you and your country? The Chinese are now cooperating with American investigators about the Bidens and the millions that they raked in from overseas business dealings. My God. A Chinese-American financial institution called Cathay Bank has given Senate Republicans records showing millions of dollars from Chinese companies to President Biden's son. Oh, 10% for the big guy. This is having to do with the China Energy firm. CEFC is what it's called. China Oil, call it China Oil. And they were trying to create a natural gas junction in Texas. So where the hell are the Texas attorney generals? We asked Ken Paxton this yesterday. Where are the DAs in Texas investigating this crime? We'll continue to push. There's a lot of breaking news, including this. The Chinese are now cooperating with Republican investigators into Biden corruption. A lot of breaking news, and at this moment, you need to make sure that you are connected, because this breaking news could have a major effect on your life. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why my company, and me personally, use Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile is the only Christian conservative wireless provider with dependable nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks. You can get the best possible service in your area, plus a coverage guarantee. If you're not happy with your coverage, you can switch for free. You will be happy with your coverage, and you can get free switching today with the code BENNY. This is the company that supports free speech, sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, and our military and first responders. Free activation today with the offer code BENNY. Go to patriotmobile.com/Benny, patriotmobile.com/Benny. So, if all of this seems as though there's no silver lining and there's nothing good happening right now, please don't take that message away from our show. When good men stand up and do things to fight the evil in society, that can have a profound effect. And we saw that on full display with Elon Musk just this past 24 hours. The BBC journalist, some uppity prick named James Clayton, got something in his tea, a bee in his bonnet, and decided to go interview Elon Musk. To his surprise, Elon Musk said, "Yep, come in here and then do an interview with me." And so this man walked into Twitter's headquarters, sat down with Elon Musk, and effectively committed career suicide on tape. Elon Musk live streamed the entire thing. It was glorious. And one of the individuals who Elon Musk interfaced with during that live stream was our producer, the great ALX, who joins the show now. We love doing happy news on the show because there's a lot of doom and gloom. There's a lot of like, why aren't they arresting the Bidens? What's going on in this country? But we like bringing attention to the fact that Elon Musk, as a man and as a movement himself, is really, I think, changing the course of dialogue in this nation, exposing so much. I'm not sure he gets all the credit for it, ALX. Can you give us a recap of what happened 2 nights ago?
Yeah, so James Clayton said that he emailed Elon in the morning, wasn't expecting an answer from him, and seemed ill-prepared because he went into that interview and he said himself that he was surprised he got an answer. Elon himself tweeted, "Going live with James Clayton in 10 minutes at the BBC. Tune in." And he had the space. He said that he was going to be on Spaces, so it was simultaneously live streamed on the BBC and then also on Twitter Spaces, which was genius. So they couldn't, clip it up and take things out of context. So he goes into it. He starts asking some prodding questions about misinformation and hate speech, and Elon says, "I'm not going to be the arbiter of what's true, what's false. Who's the arbiter of truth? Is it the BBC? Like, who is it?" And that's when the gears shifted in the interview, and Elon became the interviewer, it seemed. He couldn't name one example of the content that he was complaining about, and then he even agreed with Elon that it shouldn't be taken down. The same type of slightly sexist content that he was complaining about. So he really turned the tables on him, and it was, an embarrassment for him at the end.
So I believe we have a clip here of the interview, which was shockingly released by the BBC. I mean, if we ever did an interview, ALX, and we had a guest that just absolutely destroyed me, I wouldn't release the footage. I'd destroy it. But somehow the BBC thought they got the better of this. What's our first clip?
So the first one is when Elon Musk asks the BBC reporter James Clayton who the arbiter of truth is, and he kind of, is taken aback, and he doesn't answer. He's like, "Oh, you're asking me for an answer?" It's like, well, yeah. So let's check that one out.
Do you think you prioritize freedom of speech over misinformation and hate speech?
Well, who's to say that something is misinformation? Who's the arbiter of that? Is it the BBC?
You're literally asking me?
Yes.
Well, no, you are the arbiter on Twitter.
Yes, so the point I'm trying to make is that the BBC itself has, at times, published things that are false. Do you agree that has occurred?
I'm quite sure the BBC have.
Yeah, so...
Okay, getting spicy there.
He admits that, well, number one, are you cracking down on misinformation? And then in the same breath, he's admitting that the BBC has pushed false information. So my next question would be, okay, should the BBC be banned from Twitter for spreading disinformation under, you're telling me I should be cracking down on this stuff. It's like, well, the BBC is guilty of what you're complaining about. So what are you complaining about?
So, okay, that's just the setup. So then the ball continues to roll.
Yes. So then he goes more into the vein of what hateful content he's starting to see. And, you know, he wants specific examples, and it's just like pulling teeth. So let's see the first one about the slightly sexist content.
I could see more hateful content in that.
Content you don't like or hateful? What do you mean to describe a hateful thing?
Yeah, I mean, you know, just content that will solicit a reaction, something that may include something that is slightly racist or slightly sexist, those kinds of things.
So you think if something is slightly sexist, it should be banned?
No,
is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying anything.
I'm asking for specific examples. And you just said that if something is slightly sexist, that's hateful content. Does that mean that it should be banned?
Well, you've asked me whether my feed, whether it's got less or more. I'd say it's got slightly more.
Yes.
So, how do you define slightly sexist?
Yeah, exactly. He can't define anything, and when pressed for specific examples further, that's where it got really, really funny. Let's check out the rest of that clip.
That's why I'm asking for examples. Can you name one example?
I honestly don't use. Honestly, I
you
don't.
Can't name a single example.
I'll tell you why, because I don't actually use that for you.
Well, hang on a second. You said you've seen more hateful content, but you can't name a single example, not even one.
I'm not sure I've used that feed for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and
Well, then how did you see the hateful content?
Because I've been using Twitter since you've taken it over for the last 6 months.
Okay, so then you must have at some point seen that for you hateful content. I'm asking for one example.
Right.
And you can't give a single one.
And I'm saying,
then I say you don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Yes, because you can't give me a single example of hateful content, not even one tweet, and yet you claimed that the hateful content was high.
Well,
that's false.
No, what I claimed,
you just lied.
What?
You just lied.
Yeah.
So am I hearing that right? Yeah, am I hearing that right? So he's claiming he doesn't use Twitter, but that he's seeing the spike in hateful content, and then Elon's like, but you don't use Twitter, you're lying to me.
Exactly, and the whole setup to that too, it's a much longer breakdown. It's like a 7-minute exchange. So what led into that too was him saying, well, you've brought back all of these banned users like myself who were banned for misinformation or whatever. So that was his main gripe with the whole misinformation and hate speech, was that it was due to the fact that he was restoring free speech and bringing back banned users. So that's why he asked, he's like, well, do you think slightly sexist content should be banned? Do you think all of this should be banned? And then he admits the BBC is guilty of spreading this information himself. And then he's backtracking and saying, well, I can't base like a specific type of content or piece of content, and I don't use the feed. So, but that, like, he spent 7 minutes complaining about it. So after the interview, he was packing up, and Elon decided to take questions from the audience. So I was brought up as one of those audience members, and I decided to ask him a question about a memer that was, recently convicted of a crime to meddle in the election, quote unquote, for posting a meme about Hillary Clinton. I had seen that he had engaged with a tweet about it in the past, but it was more asking, does anyone have more information? What's the criminal complaint on this? That's what his tweet was about. And it seems like he read up on it. So I asked him about it. Here's how that went.
Really troll heaven on Twitter. And the thing is, like, even I even get trolled, and I'm like, God, why did I get trolled again? That was really
right. Yeah,
sure.
I get trolled every day, and it's like, part and parcel of being on Twitter.
Yeah, totally.
It's worth it.
On that note, did you see the guy who got charged for a meme on Twitter? What were your thoughts on that? I know you commented on it. I didn't know if you got to look more into it. His name's Douglas Mackey.
Oh, that's the guy who I guess was accused of election interference or something.
Yeah.
Isn't that the counselor from South Park? Your vote or something?
Yeah, like, people shouldn't believe everything that they see online, and I don't think that should be criminal.
No, I think criminal is over the top there. I would agree with that. They went too far. you know, if that's the standard for throwing someone in prison, then there should be a lot of people in prison.
Yeah, what are you in prison for? Oh, meme crimes. You know,
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, there's like.
So that's a spectacular question. For people who aren't aware, Tucker Carlson's been covering this very closely. Douglas Mackey shared a meme about Hillary Clinton as a joke, and he got put in prison for sharing a joke about Hillary Clinton. They said it was election interference. This man now was sentenced to prison after a couple of, I think it took the jury a while, and then they had enough pressure leaned on them that this man will now go to jail for a meme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe he gets his actual, you know, what is his punishment's going to be. I think it's in August later this year, but I think they're going to try and appeal it. I know they're still fighting it. It's an absurd, you know, I could not imagine like being an American citizen on a jury and saying, oh, this guy posted a meme in 2016. We're going to throw him in prison for 10 years. Like that's actually insane. Like maybe take the content down off Twitter, which actually there is a reverse example of somebody doing this, a Biden supporter doing this in 2020, posing as a Trump supporter with a sign saying text your vote or whatever, like basically the same thing, except they're posing as a Trump supporter. In this case, actually, so this person was a sock puppet account, and they had an image of Charlie Sheen with a Make America Great Again hat. That was their avatar, and that was the account posting it. So my question would be, is like Hillary Clinton supporters are that dumb that they fall for an anonymous account on Twitter posting that with a MAGA hat on, giving them advice on where to vote? Like, is that really their allegation, that like Hillary Clinton voters get their voting information from Trump supporters? I don't understand that allegation there. But yeah, in the reverse, that content is still on Twitter, the Biden supporter who did it. So they're not arrested, and it hasn't been taken down from Twitter.
So this man was arrested for a meme, and could the government have ever like prove that this man manipulated any votes? I mean, could they prove any harm here?
So they actually reached out to people who texted the number, and they couldn't identify one vote that was impacted. So no, they haven't. And you know, it took them a while to build this case because this happened in 2016. They brought charges against him 7 days after Biden was inaugurated. So it shows you that they've been working on this for a while and that they were sitting on it. And yeah, they were building the case. You'd think if they had, you know, 4 years to do this, they would have information and evidence of at least one vote being changed. But they, I think there was maybe like 4,000 people who texted it, but they later say in the complaint that they couldn't identify one vote that was impacted because they reached out to the people who texted it.
So Elon was on the side of the meme maker. Elon
Correct. Yeah. He says that it was overkill, and this is coming from the owner of the platform that, you know, would be posted, or that what it was posted on in the previous administration of Twitter 1.0. So this is coming from the person who, you know, might have to deal with something like that later down the line. And he himself said, "I get trolled." Like, and my response to that too was, you shouldn't believe everything on the internet. It should be the policy. And I don't think, you know, I don't think Twitter should be telling people what they should believe and shouldn't. And that goes back to who's the arbiter of truth and all of that. And again, it was a meme. It wasn't someone saying as an authoritative statement, this is exactly how you should vote. It was a pretty obvious meme. And again, the person posting it was wearing a MAGA hat. So like, it wasn't very, you know, hard to find out that it was a meme if you took 3 seconds to look at his profile picture.
Yeah, you can pretty much tell who's a sock puppet account and who's not. You know, shout out to all the sock puppet accounts out there. Some people want to remain anonymous, but you shouldn't be put in jail for a meme. BBC became a meme themselves during this interaction. The final clip that we'll play here, can you set this up for us?
So I have a tweet as well that goes along with this, but Elon Musk throughout the interview kept asking, it's like, do you like BBC? Do you like the BBC? And the interviewer who works for BBC, like, you know, he can't even say that he likes his own company. So there's the tweet. I said BBC's own reporters won't publicly say I love BBC. That's tough, man. And Elon saw it and he replied. He replied to, I think, 7 of my tweets yesterday. It was pretty funny. So let's see the clip of him saying it during the interview.
Oh, what questions I have? Do you like the BBC? Do you like BBC?
Okay, yeah, we're not going to do
Oh, I can't interview you. But if you like, do you like BBC?
I know, I see what you're doing. I'm not going to respond to that. Okay, I think we can finish the interview there. If you want to continue, thank you very much.
Well, come on. Surely you like BBC. Come on.
I'm not engaged. All right. Elon, it honestly has been a pleasure.
Okay.
Talking to
Well, same.
And if you want to carry on answering questions on this, then go for it. But I'm not going to.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to see if there's like any good. There's a lot of comments.
Do you like the BBC? And he's like, no, I can't answer that.
So what Elon was doing at the beginning of that too is, so he said, like, originally he was going to take questions with James. So like he was scrolling through the comments on Twitter. He was scrolling through and trying to find something. So that's why at the beginning you can hear him like laughing and like reading. He's reading through and they're all like, do you like BBC? Do you like they all want like him to ask that. So James is like, all right, I'm done. And then it was funny actually. So he wasn't done. He stuck around packing up, and then he started interjecting when, myself and some other people were talking. And, we don't have the clip, but he got shut down by me and Ian Miles Chung about the doxing policy that Twitter had. So he was complaining about it, and then we both clarified what the actual policy was. And he's like, all right, I'm done. Bye. And then Elon's like, do you want to leave? So then that's when he actually left, like 10 minutes after that. But
I own the building. Get out and talk with the homeless guy who is drinking heroin out of an old milk carton outside. Yeah. Hey, ALX, this is amazing. Give us the Twitter update. Come back. Obviously, this is some of the most entertaining and uplifting content that we can do. We need more of it on this show. Where can people find your work, ALX?
Primarily on Twitter at ALX. Working hard to get 420 on 420. So let's see if we can make that happen.
Guys, I'm not lying when I say that Elon Musk has responded to or interacted with ALX's account like close to a dozen times over the last 24 hours. The ALX is quickly becoming Elon's favorite account to interact with. The reason why is because ALX puts out dope content. This is the revenge tour of ALX. We told you it was going to happen. ALX was brought back, and the world will never be the same. God bless you, ALX.
Thank you so much.
Oh man, what a good team we have around here. I gotta tell you, I'm so proud of the team we have here because everyone in their own way is like moving and shaking, and it's awesome. We are building an army, and we thank you for being part of that army. We, as an army, are saying no to Bud Light. We have some quick breaking news for you. $5 billion shaved off of Bud Light's market cap. Why is that? Well, because Bud Light went woke. Bud Light went anti-Christian. Bud Light embraced radical gender ideology without consulting the fact that all of their customers effectively are in the Deep South and in the Bible Belt. But that's against our church's teaching, and that's against biology, according to Richard Dawkins and everyone else. So yeah, didn't go great. Bud Light is now being canceled across the country from sea to shining sea. The fruited plains, ladies and gentlemen, are saying no to Bud Light. They are very much going broke for going woke.
Bud Light has been facing growing criticism for its partnership with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney. In the last 5 days, parent company Anheuser-Busch stock has decreased 5%. That's a loss of $5 billion in market cap. But Bud Light isn't the only company launching such partnerships. Nike, Olay, and Kate Spade are just a few brands being called out for what critics call woke advertising in order to boost their CEI score. The Corporate Equality Index, or CEI, is a social scorecard that grades companies based on their inclusivity. It is run by the Human Rights Campaign, arguably the most powerful LGBTQ lobby in the world, and is equipped with millions in funding from George Soros's Open Society Foundation.
It was the F-aroundest of times and the find-outingest of times, as the wise man once said. And so Bud Light effed around, and now they're finding out. Don't drink Bud Light, ladies and gentlemen. Turn you into a woman. Or at least a live-action role player of a woman. So somebody who is not role-playing, somebody who's for real running for president against Joe Biden, RFK Jr., we cannot wait to have him on the show. We've already outreached to his team. We will bring you RFK Jr. live very soon here. He gets his first major endorsement. Aaron Rodgers, the Packer quarterback, who said he was immunized from COVID, indicates support for RFK. I won't use the slur and the slander here. RFK has an incredible book out called The Real Dr. Fauci. RFK is a Democrat, and he is running against Joe Biden. Now, some people say that RFK should be not just in the Packers locker room protecting those NFL players whose, like, you know, body is their lives, like these athletes. It's wild, like how they went after the athletes. These athletes, their body and their physical health and their well-being, that is their life. So bodily autonomy, on its basest level, should be the most important to athletes. Guys like Aaron Rodgers actually spoke up about it, and he's a hero for doing that. RFK Jr. also spoke up against the mandates, about the insanity that Dr. Fauci pushed upon our nation. Dr. Fauci being punished, and RFK Jr. running for president, getting endorsements. Some people say they should run with Trump. What do you think? Should it be Trump, Kennedy? Whoa. Yikes. What? So you have like an actual dual ticket together? I don't know, man. That'd be wild. What do you think about that? Trump, Kennedy has like a weird 1960s sort of nostalgia, like through point to today. Interesting times. Interesting times. Sure would want to see Robert F. Kennedy in some position of high power in government. If there is one man who can undo what Dr. Fauci has done, or even begin to, it is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Again, we look forward to having him on the show and talking to him about it. What we will do before then, however, will be the verse of the day. The verse of the day is from Psalms. Psalms. Surely goodness and mercy shall flow. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. One of the most famous Psalms, nay, the most famous Psalm. As David was being hunted through the wilderness by Saul, was being hunted. Hear that, Saul? Hear that, Royce? You know King Saul? Rolls-Royce knows King Saul? He can't respond because he's upset. So Rolls-Royce, learning a little bit about the Bible. Myself too. David wrote this while he was being hunted in the wilderness by his king, and he still wrote about the peace that God provides, even though the entire nation had turned on him. His entire nation had turned on him, and the armies were hunting him. Does that sound familiar? Do you recognize America? Does it feel like you're being hunted, metaphorically and quite possibly physically? If you dare protest in front of an abortion clinic, yeah, you are being hunted. And God can be your refuge. I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Let that be sitting upon your heart as you strike forth this Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, know that you got your boy Benny, and I got your back. This is The Benny Show. See ya.
I promised you guys at the beginning of this live stream that I would have some brand new video for you. Well, I'm going to show it to you right now. Let me just go ahead and give you a little bit of background so that you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, this little douchebag here is named Garrett James Smith, a member of Antifa. Lives in a little town called Oldsmar, just north of Tampa. He had just returned from Portland, where he had undergone terrorist training to become what Sheriff Bob Galtieri called a sleeper cell. He's a real special piece of garbage, this guy. Oh, that's not the right one. There we go. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, there we go. So this video, okay, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Well, no, I can slip this in here. Let me slip this in here real quick. I got some new video of him in Washington, D.C. You're not going to believe what happened with this guy. Okay, but first, let me give you that background. I was giving a speech in front of the Pinellas County Jail for imprisoned Green Beret Jeremy Brown, a two-time recipient of the Bronze Star for Valor. Jeremy was only arrested after he published audio of 2 federal agents trying to get him to spy on the Oath Keepers organization before January 6th. So I'm giving this speech, showing the crowd my video footage that I had recorded in Washington, D.C. of 2 federal agents attacking the Capitol. And, well, I'll let Tampa Bay 10 fill you in.
Explosives and homemade grenades stuffed with nails, all found in the backpack and home of the 22-year-old man named Garrett Smith, arrested near this January 6th protest outside the Pinellas County Courthouse last night. This is Nightside. I'm Carolina Lee. The protest was in support of a man arrested and accused of participating in the insurrection. But as 10 Tampa Bay's Miguel Octavio explains, detectives are still trying to figure out Smith's motive.
Yeah, it could have been very destructive, and he could have hurt a lot of people.
It was his 22nd birthday, and investigators say Garrett James Smith spent it carrying a backpack with an explosive device near this crowd of protesters outside the Pinellas County Courthouse. They don't know why.
Smith has no criminal history, no social media accounts that we can find, and there's no prior intelligence information about Smith.
And deputies say Smith isn't talking. Dressed in all black, Smith was across the street from the crowd. Deputies don't know why Smith held back.
We're fortunate in this situation that something caused Smith to flee before he ignited the explosive device, and the deputies were able to apprehend him.
Detectives say a search of Smith's home turned up 4 devices that looked like grenades. Each was packed with nails. Deputies also found a note titled Direct Action Checklist. It was a list of equipment like a gas mask, duct tape, and handcuffs. No one was injured, but Sheriff Gualtieri said Smith is the kind of person that worries law enforcement. He had no history of problems, made no threats on social media, and seemed to come from nowhere.
There's no opportunity to intervene and thwart their criminal activity until they actually act.
Deputies say Smith also spent time in Portland. Officers say he had a helmet with symbols from a group that staged protests there. Pinellas detectives are still trying to determine if Smith had any connections to that group and what his motive was. He is not cooperating with investigators. Smith is being held in jail on $300,000 bond.
Yeah, so the Pinellas County Bomb Squad, according to Sheriff Bob Galtieri, determined that that was a homemade, nail-studded little pipe bomb. A small one, but could have been deadly. That's what the sheriff said. 1 week after that arrest, the FBI takes over the investigation, and they, in conjunction with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, which should be the name of a convenience store and not a government agency, determined that Smith's munitions were nothing more than a harmless smoke device, and they let him go. So, not much I can do about that. However, I can't establish a pattern because the other day I found some video of Mr. Smith in Washington, D.C. But he was getting pulled off a Hippies for Jesus bus, and several other people that were on this bus were arrested for guns and drugs. But they kicked this kid loose. I want to show you a little dirty, it's a very crude little comparison I made. I hope you enjoy it, but it's effective, I think.
Yeah, they're the ones.
What happened?
No,
So
this
first
is
we
good.
got stopped
Yeah,
in
okay.
Maryland.
We're good.
And then then we start rolling in here looking for a place to park so we could go rally for Trump. And then we get pulled over again by these guys. And then they get us all out again. And they end up arresting the driver and the owner of the bus.
For what?
And, I think possession or something for that and that 22. And then the dude's needle that he had in his pocket, I guess.
Container of something.
Oh, radio's on now. And then they try to get us to take
you guys ready for this?
A DNA swab.
Here it comes.
If our DNA matched the weapons that were found on the vehicle.
How many weapons?
I don't know.
How many weapons did they find? I think one or two.
They were pretty quick at getting.
They were also hinting that there was a bomb on the bus.
That's so weird that they asked him for a DNA sample. That was
What did you find in there? Do you know? Is there anyone who's authorized to comment?
Taking that shit today! If our DNA matched the weapons that were found on the vehicle.
So what do you think? What do you think, kids? Is that the same kid or not? I'm pretty sure it is. And in both instances, he's arrested by police and somebody intervenes to set him free. How many people are going to have to be hurt by this kid? Is somebody actually going to have to die before they put him in prison? Are they grooming him to be the next school shooter? This kid is a menace, a complete creation of the FBI. It's probably not even his real name. Matter of fact, I know he doesn't even know what the hell his name is. The month before the attack, he petitioned to change his name to Jordan Hanna. Apparently, he's some kind of Antifa transgender incel. That's the reason, I imagine, why he pissed his pants and ran away, attracting the attention of Pinellas County deputies instead of throwing his bomb.
California to suck a dick.
Isn't California a two-party consent state? Who are you?
Yes, it is. He's the guy. He's the one who made all those fake interviews for me tonight.
Why don't you use your picture? Why don't you use a video? Why? That's stupid. Why do I care what people think I look like? I'm a clout. I don't care. Sounds like you're cowardly. You're afraid to show what you look like. Oh my god.
Here, pause for a second.
You're coming at me. I can't believe you, Docs.
This is one of Aiden's main fucking tactics. It's so retarded. What he needs to know what people look like. It's like he needs to know what you look like.
So then you can talk shit about their looks, obviously.
Yeah, he doesn't really have to. And this is.
That's all he has.
Well, I get it now, because Kate always keeps on me about it. She's like, "Oh, you always appear and shit. Oh, you're a better troll than that." You know, and I get it. It's because Aiden does that.
Yeah.
Okay, this makes so much more sense. I keep going.
Like, why would you dox me? It's like we're not streaming private.
You kind of doxed yourself. You just happened to be on the phone on a live, which I'm allowed to do because I'm in fucking California to suck a dick.
I mean, I don't think judging people for their sexuality is pretty cool, but I mean, I gotta be honest. Like, I did the best I could. I tried my best for you. I got on people like that. Like,
Freaking King Cobra, admit it.
what?
That
What are you
wasn't.
doing right now? I thought we were talking about some shit. This guy's a fucking loser. Who
Hold on. It's really important to me.
Don't you text a 16-year-old girl? Yes, he's
Why
born
is
fitted in DC.
Here we go.
Born fitted in DC.
Why is that King Cobra?
Who?
What is that King Cobra?
Let me know when you're done with this, man. I'll be back. I'm not joking.
He's not rage quit and left her by yourself?
He's not dealing with it because he's tired of people talking about him.
He left her by herself.
Having communication with a fucking 16-year-old.
Wow, you fucking piece of shit, bro.
Well, I mean, what was better? 2, 3 days, I think it was like, what is it? He's on Aiden's panel trying to call someone out for doing this stupid shit.
Wow. Good job, Colonel.
Yeah, he inadvertently called himself a child predator without even realizing that this guy is so smart. Like,
Jesus Christ, like I just, yep. I mean, for the rest of his life, somebody, at least one person a day, should remind him that he was a 40-year-old man talking to a 16-year-old. Holy fuck.
Don't go talking to fucking 16-year-old bud. There's enough women out there your own age, fucking dickhead. Well, yeah, but Rada's gonna fucking not call out fucking Meryl, but he'll call out. He'll just make up fucking dumb stuff.
Well, and, okay, so we're gonna have this right here. Sheila seems to be carrying a colorful battle flag for some reason. I don't know if you guys saw any of that. Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he's trying to go in on Kate. He said he was going to make a video today. That never happened. I guess the crack never got delivered to his house. I don't know. Could be any number of things.
Well, all fairness, it doesn't get delivered to his house. It gets delivered to the middle of the forest where they know it.
Cowbell, give me cowbell. I want cowbell. Give me more.
No, it's, you know, not good. Not good to see someone like this in this kind of condition. It'd be pretty tragic and terrible to see someone hurt themselves. I wouldn't want that. You know, here's this lovely front door inside of his house and everything. Look at that. That's the Turtle Boy couch and everything. Yeah, no, this would be tragic. I don't want this man to hurt himself. I don't want him to kill himself. That'd be terrible. Right? So if you guys want to call a wellness check to Oldham, Massachusetts, I mean, we just need to get this guy some help. Right? So, you know, it's coming from a place of concern. I don't want to see this guy hurt himself. Again, that address, just thought I'd put that out.
And we're live, you British prick. You British prick ma.
You online sexual predator. What you
British prick ma. Sorry we have to do this stream, folks, but the inevitable happened. Our buddy here got doxxed by his ex-girlfriend. A total nightmare. The woman just can't keep her mouth shut. She couldn't be a grown-up and keep OGN's identity out of people's heads. She just had to spew it and then tries to make it like OGN's the bad guy. This is all over jealousy.
She had to send her daddy out on me, threaten me with police. We'll get more into that. Daddy, I doxed someone and now they dox me. Please threaten them.
You know, like, soon as we do streams that are, like, away from their idiocy, look what happens. Look what happens. Look who comes back and brings all this drama. We know who it is.
You live?
So what's going on there? We've got an interesting scenario here. 4/13/2023. Thanks for joining in, checking this out. If you were a cop watcher, I put it in the chat. If you were a cop watcher, would you want to film someone dying or being resuscitated by EMS? Get up in the grill of it 10, 15 feet away for the clicks and views and trying to make money on the YT platform. Morally, would you want to film that? Now, I think in the United States, you try to do something like that, you'll definitely be approached to go, hey, stop, dude, don't do that. Right? I've seen it. I wouldn't want to film that. There's another angle you can do away from that and commentate. Agreed? Anybody agree or disagree? Not getting right up into the scene, and I probably wouldn't even be playing this except for it's dark. It's darkened out, and it's been darkened out even a little bit more so you don't see the man in the shaded part there getting worked on by EMS. All right? Because I didn't even really want to play this footage. But holy crap, dude. Seriously. Would you want that on your conscience to be the one to film somebody dying there in the street? For clicks and views on the YT platform to make money off of. It's, I mean, is it, you guys don't believe me, right? You guys don't believe me? That's what the intent is here.
That's very inconsiderate if you're recording. No, it's I'm trying to make money on YouTube, thank you.
Oh, what did he just say? Hold on. Uh-huh.
You live?
That's very inconsiderate if you're recording.
No, it's I'm trying to make money on YouTube, thank you.
Huh. Yeah, Dr. Dork. That's okay, though, right? That's okay in your dumbed down world for people to do that? I mean, let's have a discussion on it. Unless, I mean, does anyone dare have a discussion on this moral debate? That was a good track. Already played that earlier. Oh my gosh. Here, hold on, let's go. Okay. Does anybody, I mean, we got enough people that, you know, I guess this is the test out of the few people that are here. How many of you just dorks watching and recording? Yeah, is that, I know, that's, those are your good buddies. Dr. Dork, those guys are his good buddies. You're bad, dude. Here trying to promote for these shillbacks, in my opinion. So no one wants to have this debate. I even think I put it in the chat. Let's go back. It's there somewhere. These guys don't really care about truth and getting down to moral obligation within your communities. They just want to troll chat rooms and be on loop like a good little plastic Aquino soldier. Does anyone have any input on this subject here? You want to film a guy dying, trying to be resuscitated for money on the YT platform. Anyone want to weigh in on that? I mean, you think Lisa Lake could be all like, what the hell is this guy thinking? Right? Get that guy licensed immediately. Right? Probably that's, you know, this situation, yes, where, you know, you should have some type of, if you want to be a, you know, a cop watcher or something like that, you maybe should at least have a course, because it's not illegal. In the U.S. anyway, it's not illegal, but there should be like, okay, dude, if you're gonna do it, this is what you need to know. Right? And I've seen some of that, right? Some of the coordination. I'm gonna go back. Asking some opinion here. What do you think of that? A man's dying there. Possibly, I don't know if he lived or not. Been shot. Still, nobody wants to weigh in. Let's see. Well, she was definitely in. I don't know if she caught those questions. Well, to actually film somebody when they're dying or something like that. Now, it should be up to the police, the EMS, to get in front of the camera. Don't film it, dude. Don't film that. Well, I think he could have turned the camera at a different angle. He wanted to, I mean, his intent was to get right up in there to make money on YT. Okay, that's his intent. My intent, if I came across that right now, I would be off the side, camera pointing at myself, going, there's EMS on the side right now working on a man that was just shot. We don't want to show it. We're not like some dumbed down Edward-esque carbon copy here. We're going to read out the sick charges from freaking News Now Houston, you dumbass. Intent and detail to do what? To do what? Let's make some money and yeah. Seriously. Oh my God. Nobody yet? Yeah, keep, you know, it should be up to the police to get in front of your camera and go, just don't film this part, dude. But I think if you were, blurring it out. Yep. That's just why I use a videographer, man. There's just some shit that I do not want to film, but hey, we can talk about it all day long. Let's roll through this a little bit more. This guy, seriously, like I said, if it wasn't so blacked out, because we darkened it here, I wouldn't want to play this. I wouldn't want to play it. But getting that right there on the screen, Guy's filming, guy dying to make money on YT, and he's admitting it. Isn't that great? That's some Luciferian shit, if you ask me. The dark side sent him in. You know, here's my opinion on that too. So the dark side says, "Hey, we'll give you some clout through our bigger channel, right?" But the thing is that, well, all of a sudden, well, we can't just promote you because you're putting, your neighbor on blast. So you got to go out and do some cop watching, and lo and behold, that day, right, gets a little bit of money shot so he can be promoted on the bigger channel. So that way, when people go to his channel, it's not like, "Hey, everybody, you got to go to this channel," right? It's still a subversive tactic for this guy to try to make the money. He was told, I think this guy's got, 60 some odd subscribers, gets 10, 20 views per video. Okay, but he's been promised that if he does this, he will make money. That's not good intent. That's not really, dude, the whole intent here is screwed up, just like the whole 24/7 live stream they're doing. And it's some stupid shit. This is crazy.
Hey, everybody.
Is it live?
Consider it if you're recording.
No, it's not. I'm trying to make money on YouTube. Thank you. I can do it. It's my legal right.
It is.
Yeah,
It
so
is.
let me stand here then. Get away from me, please.
Well, I'm allowed to be here too.
Sure, if you want to.
I think he may have been coached to say that. He's trying to make money because they're all trying to be some type of a legitimate, maybe news source, but they're not really. They're just freaking monetized gang stalkers. Just to let you know, this guy right here.
Freedom of
Both
press,
of them,
right?
actually.
Like a. Sure. Got tape?
Why are you standing here? It's freedom of press, man. I'm allowed to do this. Okay, you're gonna be all over YouTube. Good for you. Are you proud? What's the big deal? It's on the news all the time. I can't see anything. I see people. That's it. Why is it a big deal to you?
I don't know you're mad at me.
I'm not mad, but why are you standing in front of me? So, I'm not mad. Do I sound mad to you?
Well, you sound frustrated.
Oh, yeah, but you're telling me what to do. I'm not doing anything. This is our legal right as Canadians.
That's right.
So why are you standing in front of me? Get away from me. You're in my space. I'm not bothering you. Please.
Okay, so we're just going to erect the tape, so you're going to have to be on the outside of that tape.
Oh, you're going to, come blocks away or what?
Want to do
Fucking tyrant. Oh, I see it's got to recover, man. This is freedom of press. You know that, right? If this was CTV here, you wouldn't stop them, would you? You're a tyrant. You're a tyrant. Yeah, you are. You're in my way for no reason. Yeah, you can be a tyrant and stand in front of me for no reason. I am behind the line. Get out of my space. I'm not talking to you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't need to talk to you. You're nothing to me. Move. I don't need to talk to you. Yeah. Am I breaking the law? Get away from me. I'm not. I'm not breaking the law. Get away from me.
I don't have to go anywhere.
Neither do I. I can go right by the tape. Get in my fucking way. What are you doing, tyrant?
You know, by the closed captions there on the screen, you would think they're having a totally different type of conversation, talking about logs. And what else was it? There was something that he's trying to say he's straight. Seriously, did you guys catch that on the captions? See, sometimes the AAI will catch some different things, but might be more pertaining to the truth than you realize. You know, if you go back and watch the captions, okay, it tells a different story. That's what I'm trying to say, all right? Shut
What's
up.
your name? M. Goddard? Gotcha. Good jobs, dummy. Look at this guy, guys. All kinds of people are going to see you. You're such an idiot.
That's okay.
Yeah, why are you in my space for? Why are you in my space?
The same way you're allowed to be here, I'm allowed to be here.
Right, so don't keep moving away. Look at this guy. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why?
Because I believe what you're doing is quite inconsiderate.
You're disrupting
If I was CTV, that'd be okay, right?
No, it wouldn't be.
Yes, free press.
We're asking you to leave.
No, I don't have to leave. It's
Yes,
free
you
press.
do.
You're on
If you
YouTube right
wanna
now.
leave, you will be arrested
I don't, for what?
obstruction. For
Really?
obstruction, yes, for obstruction.
Well, how am I obstructing?
You know what? Either we bring this back or I'm going to arrest this guy.
I'll go then. But you're going to be all over YouTube. This is wrong.
That's fine.
If it was a CTV, you'd be in trouble. You're going to be all over YouTube.
I'd love it.
I'm going to
Go
make sure
for
everybody
it.
does get it.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
You're welcome. Have a nice day. Thanks for working for us.
Uh-huh.
I made a bad judgment call on posting a man getting worked on earlier today in Chilliwack downtown, so I apologize, but under a lot of stress from a harassing neighbor. It cost me my job, so.
Wow. Yeah. Under a lot of stress. These guys. Like these guys. These guys were partying back in this day. Now they're all under stress, just like just like that neighbor.
You online sexual predator.
Oh my gosh, these guys.
Crickmon. Sorry we have to do this stream, folks, but the inevitable happened.
See, more sorry. See how it aligns.
Here got doxxed by his ex-girlfriend. A total nightmare.
Wow.
The woman just can't keep her mouth shut. She couldn't be a grown-up and keep OGN's identity out of heads. She just had to spew it and then tries to make it like OGN's the bad guy.
Oh, so when they doxed each other, OJM and his this chick he was dating, right? And they dox each other, and his dox is out there, and then all of a sudden they want to play volleyball or some type of tetherball or jump rope or something in their in their bullshit little dumbed down sandbox. So when they want to keep track, right? Go around and say, "Oh, Cox is destroyed," right? So I swing back at them, and then they try to put it all on me that I doxed OJM. But when he was doxed first by a chick, it was a bad scenario. I think there's even a video on that. If anybody's missed it, I could probably play it. But it all aligns, doesn't it? Oh, these guys are sorry they gotta do this. But it's because we're sorry we gotta do this. And blame it on somebody else besides your own little shortcomings and wannabe gangster rap bullshit on Hangouts. We're gonna go live on Hangouts and be somebody's. Okay.
All over, Joe.
All right.
She had to send her daddy out on me to threaten me with police. We'll get more into that. Daddy, I doxed someone and now they dox me. Please threaten them. Fuck you.
As soon as we do streams that are away from their idiocy, look what happens. Look who comes back and brings all this drama back. We know who it is. You guys know who it is.
Yeah, White Rage. The online sexual predator rat from Britain gave my girlfriend's name out. Then the cunt gave fucking my name out, my girlfriend's, my dad. I think that was it, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they doxed me.
Yeah, they threatened OGM for 3 days in a row. 2.5 days. It started the night of the 4th.
What's worse is what the Mr. Online Sexual Predator is doing to GGW, who is done living in fear of this rat. But when we get some more people in here, we'll get on that. Start the show off slow. I don't know. So much fucking, God, these fucking rats. There's so much. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Nicola?
There's
so fucking much, man. Yeah, of course, Nicola. I'll send you the link. Hold on. I'll get it to her.
Yeah, we're a little bit behind today.
Yeah, we're just winging it because it's just probably gonna. What's going on with GGW? Unless the rat wants to stop, which I doubt he will, it's probably gonna be somebody needs to stand up for her. So, she lives in a different country than like fellow man and I do. So I don't want to talk about. I want to wait till everyone hears this, but she lives in a different. She doesn't live in America. She lives in a country where you can't fuck.
These guys go around and say that everybody else is white knighting for this person and that person. But man, are they quick to step up for the stankolas that are in there and some others that are just like, they're like damage control, right? If you're a chick in the wrong. Just saying. Just my opinion.
Again. Oh shit. I'm gonna give that one to Lanny.
Oh, there's Lanny.
Well, who should I give links to? Well, I'm giving one to Nicole, and then I'll give out ones when we're done. I thought I was giving it to Nicole. There's Nicole's. Damn Canadians. But anyway, yeah, it's gotta be, thankfully GGW has some people stand up for her, because I'm not joking. When we get the show going a little bit, I'll show you what he's doing to her. The no good online sexual, okay, predator. That's what he's doing. But anyway.
I'm lost for words anymore, OJ. This is just beyond reasoning what they've done.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Zooher. Yeah.
I mean, there is so much to go over. It just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
I put the link for the.
Hey, Nathan.
Hey, Nate.
Good to see you. Our good old friend Nathan.
Wouldn't that be funny if he came to us and said, "You guys are right. That freak guy is no good. I should have known."
Hey, Brooke. He's probably got Nathan over a barrel, too. Kind of weird seeing Nathan go up. You've been in the hype for a little bit. Anyway. We'll show you what your rat friend is doing to GGW that you all are supporting. And, like I said, I will be tying it to all of you. But I'm not going to repeat it. I'm just going to do it. And you guys will see. But anyway. You guys want to support online sexual predators? Go right ahead, I guess. I don't know where to start off tonight. We're going to wait and talk about the GGW stuff a little later. What do you want?
There is no law against sniffing panties.
You were threatened to be ruined offline and on.
Yeah, let's go on with
the threat for 2.5 days of threats. And it came out of nowhere, OGM. And what have you done? You just went to Renee's stream when she was streaming, and she said it's okay to troll me. Give her a little.
Yeah, I was trolling her, but it wasn't on her stream.
You didn't
It was on.
any crazy stuff. What's up, Zero?
Nope. I was just trolling with her.
We'll open up here in a little bit, Zero.
It was on Cage stream. Okay, I was just trolling. I thought that was okay. I'm like, Renee, just stop stalking me, blah, blah, blah. In a joking way, which she knew, just in a chat. You know, like, I don't want you, blah, blah, blah. And she flipped the fuck out, started talking about my kid, and then got on a stream and made a fool of herself for hours. And then it was like few days later, she doxed me. Or, no, actually, it was about a week later, because she said, don't say my name. Don't say my name. So I stopped, you know? And it seemed like it cooled down. We had some good streams without talking about them. And then...
Do you understand? I'm not like you. I'm not a LARPer.
Come on. Good stuff. Should I drop the link for him? Hold on.
And just all of a sudden, Mr. Online Sexual Predator's like, I'm gonna prove I'm an online sexual predator, and I'm gonna destroy a woman. I'm gonna destroy her, even though I've never met her in real life. You know, like, just a cry for attention. And he did. He proved that he is a no-good predator. What a piece of garbage. Then Nick Cat, the fucking punk. Nick Cat, oh yeah, I can back it up with fist. You know, since that's what you're saying, you want to go on there and lie, say you're not certain accounts and all that. Fuck you. All I said was, yeah, you're getting doxxed if I get doxxed. You were on a stream doxing me, so you got doxxed. Fuck you. Sure. That's how it goes.
It's unfortunate that this had to happen.
Yep.
I watched Nick Cat go into chats and go,
hey, what's up, trolls?
I wish I wasn't a trucker from Vermont. Like, he would say that about OGM. Like, I never seen anything like that. Like, he would take these little digs and then go, "Oh, I'm just a nice guy. I just like to troll. I just like to troll on here."
Hey, wait, I want to say something to trolls versus trolls real quick. Yeah, Renee's daddy threatened me with police. Shall I dox Renee's daddy? Should I dox Daddy Bellavance? No, I'm just never mind. Should I? I don't know yet. But he seems to have some special connections with the sheriff's office. Okay. Never mind. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to put that out.
What up, Ripster? What's up,
Sorry, I just wanted to get that one out. No volume? Okay. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Just
how you guys doing? Good. Man, we really didn't want to do this stream. But we were hoping we didn't have to do this. Gosh.
Yeah.
I got some good material to go over in the next couple weeks. Content, you know, that stuff we used to do. Yeah. I'm going to get back into some stuff. I know it can be boring, but oh well. I know drama is more important.
Whatever. I don't even care anymore. I'm so fed up. Wish I'd never turned on YouTube at this point. Fucking, it's just so consuming. Yeah, did you address Raxley's threat? Can you play? You want to show his screenshot of what he said?
Yeah, let's get to the juice.
Yeah. Raxley just sent us this.
What, the one to me?
Yeah, the one to you. It's online.
Now remember, this is coming from the man that just shit talked me for 3 streams in a row. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Go ahead. I'm getting it right now. I'm taking it a second.
Someone made a funny account. Mommy's drunk again there. Poof. Renee and OJ, spoofed out. Mommy's drunk again.
I tell you, some of these guys are funny.
Remember when Davigo was saying Renee It was like 5 in the morning. Renee just woke up from sleeping on the tiles on her floor and like the creases in her face. You know, she's all hungover. I guess it's funnier when he says
This is coming from some account named Steven. I don't know who Steven is, but this is from some Steven character that.
William.
Yeah. Then it says Steven. This is from Steven. Give me a second. Hopefully it'll go correctly.
Yeah.
See that? Is it too small? Sometimes.
Now we can just read it off.
I don't know if that's too small.
I want you to share the message I received from Daddy Bellevance. It's so fucking hypocritical. I just don't want you to dox the number. Should I just read it off? This is from Daddy Bellevance. I suggest you stop giving out my daughter's info and harassing her. Oh my God. She does not contact you or talk about you on the streams. That's what this guy says. I work for the Sullivan's County. Oh, he's worked for the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office. Ooh. I work for the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office, so I know who can contact your Orange County Sheriff's Office and your local police department and make your life very difficult. You need to move on and leave her alone. If she tells me one more time that you are cyberbullying her, I will do everything in my power to bring you down. Well, fuck you, Daddy Bellevance. Fuck you. Do it. Motherfucker, you want to threaten me like that? Or whoever Bellevance that is? It's fuck you. She doesn't talk about me. She just doxed me, motherfucker. And my girlfriend.
I got a message for Daddy. Daddy, do you want to witness your daughter badmouthing OJM for stream after stream after stream?
Yeah, we got all the evidence.
Calling him a junkie, calling him by his first name, holding his identity against him, and then finally giving out his identity.
And my girlfriend. And my dad's.
Yes. And close people to OJM.
You want to know what your daughter's been doing?
Before you make a threat...
But you want to get in on this fight and abuse your power?
Before you make a threat to Joe, before you make a threat to him, you better make sure what's going on in your own backyard. Okay?
Yeah, that's what I said to him. Oh, they didn't respond. I offered to talk to them. They didn't respond. They had enough time.
Because what his daughter does is take down all the streams where she goes off on, and so does Small Talk. All those streams are taken down, except the last two, which is nice that they're up. And you guys can witness the horrendous threats.
And Daddy Bellevance, I've already forwarded your message to the working trooper on this. And they weren't happy with your daughter's threats of calling the Lost Solitos. Another name is the Solids from Connecticut. So, Daddy Bellevance, do you have connections to the Lost Solitos since you couldn't respond back? You know, the Solids that her and her group have threatened to call on me and make some false claims to have them come attack me. So, you wanted to get involved in this fight. You want to abuse your power of authority. Okay, that's fine. I'm down. I'm game. Sick of this. Anyway.
Yeah, her and her crew are the scourge of YouTube. I mean, the scourge.
Yeah. Yeah, if you think fucking threatening me with your power of authority is gonna make me shut my mouth for defending myself, fuck you. That's all I got to say.
Here's a message from Stephen Yaxley. Stephen says, I am hereby advised to inform you that any libelous or slanderous comments made by any person on your stream, either in your hangout or in your chat will be reported and legal action will be taken. Also, you do not have any permission to use content from my channel, my photos, my voice, or any other information that can identify myself or be linked to my internet identity, also known as online identity, and also known as internet persona. But wait, Steven. Don't you talk about me on your channel? Playing that
Yeah, I know. What is
my
it?
voice on stuff? Oh, okay.
Hey, I want you to put this screenshot of Daddy. I'm assuming it's Daddy Bellavance. It says it's his daughter, but I'll put the date. Taking the person's number off. So I want you to put this up. I'm going to send
And
it to you.
I want to let this Steven know that I am not dumb enough, or would I have any intention to reveal your real name on here on my channel.
But it will be revealed with all your with what you've done to GGW. It's all going to be revealed.
What's up, GGW? Nice to see you.
Hey, so I'm sending this in the Hangout. Where is it? I would like to put this up for the record, so that we can see that Renee's family has reached out to my private messages and is threatening me to abuse a power of authority through their position at the county sheriff's office. So
you want me to share that?
Yeah. I guess her family is used to threatening people. So now we got one of their family members reaching out to me. So that means Renee gave my number out to this dirty cop of some sort, this dirty person of authority. Yeah, read the message for yourself, you guys. This is Renee's family. I'm assuming Daddy Bellavance reaching out to threaten me with their power in a position of authority, according to them. You know, like is the whole Bellavance family used to threatening people or something? We need to show you on the show that she dropped my name first and my girlfriend's? So,
that's funny, and we're gonna prove that. It's documented that happened.
Yeah.
That she revealed OGM's first and last name.
And she admitted up to it last night.
Explain what a surname is. Surname.
It's a last name, right?
It's a last name.
Hey, what's up, GGW?
I told you she was in it.
Don't worry, we'll get justice for you. He better not be preying on you anymore, because he's not going to be preying on you anymore. And if he does, we need to document it. And we're gonna go over GGW in a minute and the threats, the harassment, the predatorial shit she's been having to deal with. But anyway, sorry, fella, man. It's a little heated tonight.
Oh, go ahead, let it out, my friend.
But good to see you, GGW. And let me tell you, no predatorial online predators, sexual predators will be harassing you in this chat. And if they do, they get the boot. So, hey, Influence. What's up?
Oh, yeah, I got to correct something I said pertaining to Influence. I want to make sure I was wrong. She's not frightened by anybody on here. I was pertaining to my opinion on what she thinks is toxic on here, but I want everybody to know that she's not frightened by anybody. So I made a mistake. That's not what I meant. So, all good Influence.
But to this person who's in a power of authority in the Bellavance family, threatening me, have fun explaining your comment to the trooper involved. But anyway, I tried to reach out to you, to talk to you, but you refused. You just threatened me, and that was it. So have fun explaining your comment about on, you know, about making my life hard. Have fun explaining your comment to that trooper. So
Yeah, and
I have every right to defend myself from
threats to OJM. I mean, the threats are all public.
Yep. And like I said in the comments I sent you, this woman had, long before, this has been going on for months, Daddy, and or whoever, Daddy or Mommy, it's got to be one of the two. Assuming Daddy, because if you were the mommy, you would have put in how Renee drinks and drives with her kids on the way home, and that's why she's not allowed there. But anyway, I want you to explain to the trooper involved and the sheriff Renee's comments about the Los Solitos, the solids from Connecticut that they plan to contact to make up some false claims about me, to have me harmed, okay, or about how this has been going on for months, where she gave my identity to a 17-year person that's been in prison for burning down a judge's house, who is heavily armed. Explain that. Artist Scotty, an MMA fighter, public feed figure, Scotty A. No names on this show, but an MMA fighter with 18 plus court records, who she gave my identity to, and then you have an online sexual predator, rat, you know? So have fun explaining your comment and what you're standing behind, because it's already been forwarded, so. Anyway.
I've never seen anything like this. Wait till you guys see this.
Sorry, Arts. Hey, what's up, Smith & Wesson?
Some of these comments are funny. You guys are great. Wait till you guys see what this Jolly Roger character has said about OJM. I mean...
Yeah, and then it can explain some of the stuff I've said to him.
Influence knows what I'm talking about. It's bad. Pretty bad. Yeah, Damon. We try to get away from it, but it seems to creep its way around, you know. But
Damon loves the drama. He loves it when he's over at Small Talk.
Wait a minute. We'll get back to content, and then none of you will come. At least you have a sense of humor, right? It's a good day. All right. What's next? What did I say? What was I going to pull up next?
Forget.
There's too much.
Oh, Jolly's comments.
Oh. I thought there was another one you wanted to do before that.
Yes, Damon.
The juice gets flowing for the nails in the coffin. Oh my gosh. I never.
Video. OJ's comrade, Jay, just told me that before he was sexually assaulted, for a week he was kidnapped and drugged. And he also has PTSD. Becky and Aaron both know about this. And look what they're doing. And look how Becky accused him of recruiting me and all this crazy shit. Listen, you need to reach out to him and you have to get his information. Because he's going to be, I'm going to tell you something, He will be a bulletproof witness. I mean, bulletproof witness. Going against, especially for Aaron and Becky. He's going to be a bulletproof witness. The federal judge, since he has PTSD and he lives out of state, will probably set it up for it to take place through a teleconference so he doesn't have to travel to Wisconsin. Brenda, this is bad. These people are, I never seen anything like it, ever in my life. These people are very evil. And they, look, Becky was buddying up with Stinky Renee, the psychotic sexual deviant who did this to him. I'm trying to find out. I'm going to ask him if it was just her or if there was others. I don't know. It might, I don't even know if he's going to see, because he never told me this, because it's probably extremely difficult for him to talk about it. He's got to be a witness, man. He's got to be subpoenaed, whether he likes it or not. Whether he likes it or not. Because he's got to fight whether he likes it or not. He's got to, look what Aaron's doing to him. Look what Becky's doing to him. And they knew about this. Becky got tight with the woman who did this to him. Man, these are some... I'll be back later on in the evening. Reach out to this dude, man. We really like him. He's cool. He's really cool to talk. Just a really cool guy. You're gonna love him, man. He's just... You'll really like him. You wanna hook up with him and hang out, feel free to do it. Or however you want to contact him, man. This is... Holy shit. I can't believe it. I cannot believe this. And here they're trying to gaslight the YouTubers and law enforcement in the courts as if we're the stalkers. No, man, we're not the stalkers. We are the victims. We are the survivors. We are the fighters. That's what we are. And they thought that by making their little parody videos and their stalking videos, this is how I found this dude. This is why they shouldn't do this shit. Because they forgot that this is how the victims find us. And this is how we all find each other, by them making these stock videos. Thank God I found this man. Brenda, you just won the case. You won it. You just won this case even more. This is the man right here. This is the dog that's really going to win the fight. You know what he should do? He should go to the police right now. The district attorney will file charges and lock this bitch up. And then he could sue in arbitration. He could not let her get away with this. I don't know why he's not fighting. Maybe he's traumatized, but he's got to fight. Maybe he needs strong ladies like us on his side to help him out and talk to him. Man, looking back when we were talking, I could tell he would get to talk and then he'd stop. I think that he was trying to maybe want to tell me more, but couldn't. Looking back now. Jay, you're a good man. Thanks for telling me this shit. I'll be back later on this evening. OJ, if you ain't doing nothing tonight, you want to talk, hit me up. I love talking. I miss talking to you, in fact. I'll be back later on this evening. Maybe we'll get some beers or whiskey or something bullshit. I gotta go. He's calling. Hold on a minute, hon. 1 second.
Wait, I'm getting to the best part. So I'm doing what I
say.
I've not read all that.
Nicola, we didn't hear what you said.
I had more. I was saying Renee needs to get help, and you guys need to help her.
You're cut.
How cool
We can't hear anything.
Nope. Good. No, I just her and her. No. Oh, I mean, finish it. I would.
Renee, someone's got now. It's either Nicola or Dan.
She's jealous. Okay, and I'm so sick and tired of her talking about her disgusting bodily fluids on fucking live stream. Renee wants to hear that, Renee. Seriously. Sit down.
Predator. Online sexual predator, Billy. You make me so wet. I'm a predator.
Well, stop it, OJ.
Make my porch grip wet.
Ain't you a snooty bitch? He is a larper and he hangs out with larpers. I'm not a larper. Ain't you a snooty bitch?
Fellow man, I don't think you're honest, and I think you're a larper just like them. I gave you blue, because I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. You fuck me, I'm gonna ruin you.
This is not a LARP show.
Running narratives, pushing LARPs. He went and called out everybody. What are you talking about? I've been doing that since, I don't know, 2-3 years.
These people are pros at emotional extortion and blackmail.
Fellow man, I don't think you're honest, and I think you're a larper just like them. I gave you blue, because I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. You fuck me, I'm gonna ruin you.
Aaron V. Cox is someone who needs very close scrutiny.
You gotta do it for the children. You gotta save it for the kids.
Ah, damn. That just slapped the taste right out of his mouth.
Oh, I'm not done with it yet.
Yeah, that's good. I love it. 'Cause that's just. Now, he's the one. Hey, he's the one that's been going on his page talking shit about me all the time for the past how long. I wonder why he was using deflection tools.
And now he's playing me being up on that panel over there with the clowns over there. Yeah, now he's playing that for 48 hours straight. Is that all you got, cock? Is that all you think? Go back to me. And I defended Farmer, and I defended my friend. Is that all you got?
Hey, they ain't never gonna find a clip, a whole clip, like we got on them, finding out that I defended Drax. Never. Every time they got a little piece of a clip, I was in a chat room cussing their dumb asses out. I told them Mouse was smart.
Mouse, you gotta do it for the children. You gotta save it for the kids.
I would roast you, but my mom said I'm not allowed to burn trash.
There is no law against sniffing panties.
Putting it out there from this tape forth, anyone in the Crude Nation will defend this man to the death. And that was our good buddy, the wild man of Canada himself.
Maybe you don't see a lot of live reading there. Too much YouTube is probably it. Well, hold on, I'd have to ask her. Are you a paid actor? Are you like LARPing me and paid to do this? We're going around 50 Walmart cards and a carton of smoke.
Go to the dentist, you stupid fuck.
Farmer, what's the truth and only the truth, quote, stated that you're lying.
Dad tell you about that group?
It's the same group that fucking sexualized cartoons, Mr. C.
Oh, hey, you know, if they want to sexualize like cartoons from that costume, I guess that's their choice.
Hey, check this out. How long did they leave that fucking fake suicide video up last night? That fucking video was up for fucking hours. But we put up a video of one fucking thing and they take us down within minutes. But they left that fake suicide video up there, which we all have a copy of. If anybody doesn't have it, I'll gladly send it to you. I have it.
Hey, Sassy doesn't look like it.
What's that?
The name does not fit that person. I thought Sassy was a girl, but it's not a girl. It's a guy. It's a big guy.
Yeah.
Does that tell you about that fruit?
So could you please just calm down and just watch the show and shut your f***ing mouth for now? Thank you.
Mouse, you gotta do it for the children. You gotta save it for the kids.
And we all know Farmer's attack, right? Immediately called Farmer, who's a fed. And Commander's going, you know, and Commander's Phil.
I was gonna ask if Commander's a bailiff.
You get to make amends now, Mouse, for what you've done. You get to take somebody who's putting pornography on the internet. Mouse, shut up and let me fucking talk, would you? God damn, you don't never shut the fuck up. These motherfuckers are putting pornography where children can see it. If you don't charge them, I will. I'm already in contact. I'm going to make sure Marty check and ass check gets to the proper authorities. They will not porn bomb motherfuckers. I'm going to put a stop to that. There's nothing I hate worse than a motherfucker taking advantage of a goddamn child. And that's what you did, and that's what they're doing. You're no different, and they're no different. No fucking took advantage, or you were convicted of it. You bled out, and I would have fought to the end of fucking time. You would have to kill me, so I would say I took advantage of someone. So now, it's up to you, Mouse. If you don't press charges on them, then you're okay with them porn bombing children. That's where I'm at. Now you can talk. It's here and now. What are you going to do to make amends? Are you going to stop children from being porn bombed now? Because it's up to you now. It's all up to you, Mouse.
Immediately, all farmers. Who's the Fed?
Shut the fuck up! Do I ever get the fucking talk, or is this your fucking panel again? Okay, when you file charges, you fucking say, I want to file charges against that piece of shit, toothless, tweaking motherfucker, 303. And I want to file charges on the guy in the earphone. The guy who fucking was telling him to commit felonies online. We all heard it. We all heard him talking. That is Ass Checker. Now, once you file charges against this Ass Checker, and you get his name and address and all that, send it to me. That's all I want. That, yon. I want that name and address, and I'm gonna dox the fuck out of you, Ass Checker. Hey, guess what? There's a company that needs some help in fucking Corpus Christi. They allow people to do porn bombing on their work computer, allegedly. We got the clip. And them phone calls need to be made today. So now, I got shit to do today. I gotta go buy a car. Either way, I got to fucking make sure these people know that authority check, you can't put pornography on a fucking work computer, dude. Go to my fucking community page. Check out this place that might be needing some new employees next week, or at least one. You know what I'm saying? Usually they don't like you putting child porn on your fucking computer. And if you're sharing pornography on the internet, it's the exact same charge as child pornography. You might as well have pictures of naked kids on your phone if you're gonna share fucking internet porn. Because what the law says, if you share pornography on the internet where a child could possibly see it, it doesn't say a child has to see it. It just says in the law, a child has to possibly see it. Now that's state and federal law. I don't give a fuck where y'all watching, who you talking to, what prosecutor, asshole, lawyer. The law is plainly written. You can't get out of that. If you're showing fucking porn on the internet, a kid could possibly see it. So therefore, you're guilty of child porn, authority check, ass smear, Liberty Bird, all you guys. They're extra worse than you. There has to be a refresher. I sent you the goddamn link the other day in your fucking live feed. If you're too goddamn stupid to read it, I thought you were smarter than it.
That just slap the face right out of his mouth.
Oh my goodness.
That's just hey, he's the one that's been going on his page talking shit about me all the time. I wonder why he was using deflection tools.
And now he's playing me being up on that panel over there with the clowns over there. Yeah, now he's replaying that for a 48-hour stream. Is that all you got, cock? Is that all you can come back at me with? When I defended Farmer and I defended my friend? Is that all you got? Yeah.
Hey, they ain't never gonna find a whole clip, like we got on them, finding out that I defended Rat. Never. Every time they got a little piece of a clip, I was in a chat room cussing their dumb asses out. I told them Mouse was smart.
Mouse, you gotta do it for the children. You gotta save it for the kids.
A little piece of a clip, I was in a chat room cussing their dumb asses out. I told him Mouse was smart because he was fucking smarter than all this.
Now he's replaying that for a 48-hour stream. Is that all you got, cock?
Mouse, you gotta do it for the children. You gotta save it for the kids.
I would roast you, but my mom said I'm not allowed to burn trash.
Mouse, you gotta do it for the children. You gotta save it for the kids.
Yeah. Hey, they ain't never gonna find a whole clip, like we got on them, finding out that I defended Rat. Never. Every time they got a little piece of a clip, I was in a chat room cussing their dumbasses out. I told them Mouse was smart because he was fucking smarter than all you stupid motherfuckers wrapped up in one ball of shit. And that was the part they cut out.
Wait a minute, Farmer. Did you send Rat? You never sent back Rat any dog food or cat toys, right?
Not of my money. Now, we did, we were, I think one time someone pumped him $5 for cat food to get information. I think I got on his panel one time. Me and, who was it? I think it was I Could Be. Scammed our way in on his panel. But I Could Be was his buddy too. I was never his buddy. I'd always ask him the questions, get him to talking. You know how I do. I can get people, set them up real quick and easy.
Cox, I found out.
Mouse, you gotta do it for the children. You gotta save it for the kids.
Mason, I think I got on his panel one time. Me and, who was it? I think it was I Could Be. Scammed our way in on his panel. But I Could Be was his buddy too. I was never his buddy. I'd always ask him the questions, get him to talking. You know how I do. I can get people, set them up real quick and easy.
Cox, I found out, gave him $300 for rent.
Cox gave that boy over $2,000, dude. In the time period that he was fucking helping Rat, him and Brian King, they had donated and scavenged and begged for money for Rat for fucking a long time. It was a lot more than a couple months, like Brian King tried to say. This shit was going on for years, dude.
Well, Rat still does it.
Yeah.
Or not Rat, Cox still does it. He still supports Rat.
And most of the people out here, they weren't even here back then. They don't know nothing about it.
Oh, he's pissed, man. He's replaying that stream over and over and over.
Mouse, you gotta do it for the children. You gotta save it for the kids.
Just beating me up on that column channel. And I stand by all my words, man. I stand by. I do not retract any words that I say.
No, I'm going with my words.
That's the best you got, Cox. Hey, what about you sitting in the hot tub wanking it off and that you did on live stream, Cox? You want me to play that?
Yeah, we gotta play that clip.
Oh, hell yeah.
What on Max? Hey, Max, I went back over there and told them boys we was just playing with them, man.
No, I forgot it all. I recorded the whole thing.
Hey, if you could get him saying, I don't want to be on TikTok a few times, that shit was funny as a motherfucker. Hey, Z, I went into this. Jim was fucking hilarious.
Man, he was mad. He was like, man, they're making $1,000.
Mouse, you gotta do it for the children. You gotta save it for the kids.
And I defended Farmer, and I defended my friend. Is that all you got, man?
Hey, they ain't never gonna find a whole clip, like we got on them, finding out that I defended Rat. Never. Every time they got a little piece of a clip, I was in a chat room cussing their dumbasses out. I told them Mouse was smart because he was fucking smarter than all you stupid motherfuckers wrapped up in one ball of shit. And that was the part they cut out.
Hey, wait a minute, Farmer. Did you send Rat? You never sent back Rat any dog food or cat toys, right?
Not of my money. Now, we did, we were, I think one time someone pumped him $5 for cat food to get information. I think I got on his panel one time. Me and, who was it? I think it was I Could Be. Scammed our way in on his panel. But I Could Be was his buddy too. I was never his buddy. I'd always ask him the questions, get him to...
Mouse, you gotta do it for the children. You gotta save it for the kids.
I would Rusty, but my mom said I'm not allowed to burn trash.
Can't you see? Sometimes the words just hypnotize me. If the magic's not in the flashy ways, this is why they broke in your soul.